everyone, it's Ornella Hernandez with Web3 TV, and today I'm in Austin, Texas at the Consensus Conference. I'm sitting here with Angela, who is the Chief of Ecosystem at Andromeda, a layer 1 in the cosmos. How are you today?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm well. Is this your first time at Consensus?
This is my second time at Consensus.
And how does it compare to past editions?
It's wild. I like it. There's a lot of excitement here.
How does it compare to other blockchain events and conferences that you've attended?
It's very professional. We have a lot of different people within the industry here. It's not sectioned into one chain ecosystem or one ecosystem in general for that reason, and there's a lot of different insights coming from all of the different people coming in here. We heard a lot from the Secret team the other night at an event, and Secret is a future integration with Andromeda and AOS, so it was really interesting to hear about their confidential computing layer and what they're doing and how in integration with AOS, Andromeda's operating system, will be able to use those unique capabilities from Secret.
Okay. Let's break that down a little bit more. AOS, not iOS, Andromeda operating system. What exactly is it? What is the mission? And why are you guys in the cosmos?
So AOS is Andromeda's operating system, and the operating system sits on top of all of the layer 1s in the Cosmos ecosystem that we are integrated with. We are currently integrated, we're deployed on Andromeda, which is an L1 chain as well, Terra, Archway, and we've got new chains rolling out on the reg. And if I could drop some, we are rolling out on Injective and Neutron next. So we've got a lot of integrations and rollouts in the work, all because that will continue to provide more unique value propositions from the other chains for all of the users building on AOS.
So, but what's the goal here? What is the purpose or the mission in connecting with all of these chains? Is it for the developers? Is it for users? Like, what's the end goal?
Great question. It's really for both. We want this, we foresee a multi-chain future, and to simplify Web3 as a whole and get more adoption and get more people building and more people users, we need all of that. We need, the reason we chose the Cosmos to answer that part of your question is because of IBC, which is inter-blockchain communication. So you're not siloed into building or working or operating within one chain. You can really use the unique value props from all of the different chains that we're integrated with, which opens up the total addressable market to all of the chains and L1s that we're working with, which is pretty cool.
Right. But do you think there's too many chains now? Like, there's always new layer 1s coming up, and a lot of people talk about interoperability and, like you said, having more integration, but then what is the point of creating so many new ones?
That's another great question. And yes, I often was of the mind that there are way too many chains and we don't need them all. What I've learned is that each chain has their unique value proposition, their specialty, their secret sauce, if you will, that they focus on. And that's really, it's not necessary to have everything in one when you have a system like AOS, because of the fact that you can utilize all of the greatness from each chains without siloing to just one of them. So for example, say you were building on AOS an order book using the Injective blockchain, but you were really concerned about some of your data and wanted to keep it secret, you can right-click and add secret as well, add secret's privacy layer as well to what you're building, even though you're building on Injective.
Okay, that's a good example then. And so talk to me a little bit more about working in the Cosmos, how they support you or what it's like being part of that ecosystem?
It's really great, actually. There's so much collaboration going on in the Cosmos ecosystem. I think everybody realizes that having the chains being able to speak to each other in the way that we can, and that means moving assets across chains as well, it's so necessary if we really want adoption to pick up as a whole in Web3, not just in the Cosmos, you know what I mean? So in that regard, it's been really great. It's fun. It's a really fun ecosystem and community of players, and really smart too. I think with the Cosmos it really opens up the design space that other chains are maybe limited to, and that's where the developers and the builders really are, I see, getting excited.
Are you a developer yourself, or what's your background?
I'm not. I'm a nerd, but no.
We're all nerds. It's okay.
So my background is entrepreneurship and marketing. I was the CMO of a DeFi launchpad for a couple of years, and then I launched a DeFi in a blockchain incubator and co-working space. And I have been in entrepreneurship, and then I got into blockchain by way of pivoting into marketing for other startups. And I started marketing for different blockchain companies and went down that whole rabbit hole, learned everything I could, and then started really, I think the light bulb went off when I was marketing for so many different types of projects building, but all utilizing this same underlying blockchain technology. So it was like, okay, this makes sense. It's not for one thing.
Okay, so then from your marketeer perspective, what would you say needs to happen, or like what do we need more of or less of in order to get more adoption and just have more people break into our little crypto bubble?
We need simplicity, and that is something. Andromeda's motto is easier, better, faster. And the reason for that is we have made it possible to condense development time from months to minutes, which is extremely important when we talk about that adoption and making everything a lot more simple. And the drag and drop utility of our ADOs, which are Andromeda digital objects, which basically act as Lego blocks. You can stack your ADOs to make a whole app, and the user interface of that is so familiar in a way that it reminds us maybe of Web2. That's what we need for adoption to pick up.
All right, and Angela, what is the best way for someone to reach out to you, learn more about Andromeda, or have any questions, then they can contact you?
You can find me on Twitter at Moontrips with a double S, and you can find me on Telegram at Moontrips.
Moontrips, I like that, that name. Okay, one last question. Since we are at the Consensus Conference, what do you think is maybe like a hindrance to the consensus of the potential of blockchain, like making sure that the wider world kind of understands what we're building? Like what's it gonna take to bridge that gap?
I think it's two-part. I think one is the compliance and regulation side. We in the U.S. are struggling with that, making moves, making progress, and that's good. But we need more clarity. That's an important thing to be able to really push this forward, so people know what's right and what's wrong, those that are trying to do it right. And then the other side is, like we talked about, that simplicity level. We have to strip down the complexity of this and make it easy. We often say we want our mothers and grandmothers to be able to use AOS, and when they can, we've succeeded. And then Web3 can succeed with mass adoption.
Love that. Thank you so much for your time today, Angela, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.